Susanna, and today I'm here with Matt, Mia, and Haley, and we'll be talking about GMOs, specifically GMOs in corn.
So what are GMOs? GMO is a term that stands for genetically modified organism. Now there are many things that can be GMOs, but in this specific instance we are going to be talking about corn. Corn is GMO'd for the use of food.
But it also feeds animals too, because a lot of different animals eat corn. So, to GMO a product, what you do is you take a gene from a specific organism. So say we're going to talk about bacteria. You take that gene out of their DNA, you copy it, and then you splice it inside of the DNA of the plant that you want, so specifically corn. And say we had a gene that was talking about rapid growth. We splice that with our corn DNA, cross that with another optimal organism, and that will give us a proper GMO'd organism.
GMOs are not as new as many people think. In 1961, a massive famine struck India, killing millions of people. Norman Borlaug introduced GMO'd wheat into India, saving millions of lives. From 1961 to 1971, the population increased by over 100 million people.
India is a country that is very prone to famines, and so this was really revolutionary. It helped more and more people stay alive no matter how bad the famine got, and really changed India.
It really shows why GMOs are important.
Yes.
So, you might ask, what does evolution have to do with GMOs? Well, because GMOs are being used, only GMO'd organisms are going to continue to be crossed and breeded. So that causes a problem because these organisms are obviously going to have a fitness advantage over the other organism, maybe because they grow taller or they can reproduce better or something, or they have pesticides. So that causes a problem. And because it's going to lower the amount of genetic diversity, the gene pool is going to shrink. And that is a problem that some people have with GMOs, but there's no doubt that GMOs are important, like what she just said about the Green Revolution.
For our survey, we interviewed 15 people, or we surveyed them, rather, and these were the results that we got. The first question we asked was, so what we did was we gave them two different samples of corn. We gave them one that was genetically modified, corn A, and one that was not genetically modified, which was corn B. And these were the results in the questions we asked, and the first was, which do you think is made out of genetically modified organisms? And 26% said corn A, and 73% said corn A, so you can kind of tell that there was no real preference. It was very much almost like a guess. People couldn't really tell because the numbers are very close together compared to what you would expect to find from a survey like this. And the other question we got was, each corn was in a 15.25 ounce can and cost under $2. Which corn is more expensive? And this was also, you can see the numbers are even closer than they were here, to the point where people can't really tell the difference in price of GMOs and how they impact our society economically and health-wise.
But there tends to be a trend that people think that GMO organisms are cheaper, which is true, but people can't tell the difference between it, so it's not really worth it to go out and buy a non-GMO product.
Okay, so we interviewed 3 professionals who work with GMOs on a daily basis. Our first interviewee was Mark Dewis, who works as Vice President of Global Accounts in the Flavors Department of International Flavors and Fragrances, or IFF. So Dewis basically explained that GMOs are cheaper and more easily produced, and they are without GMOs, the Earth will not be able to sustain a food source for its growing population. Dewis also said that that many people believe that GMOs can harm the environment, but this is false because, in fact, GMOs have shown to be better for the environment because they use less natural resources and fewer harmful ingredients in their making. Okay, so our next interviewee was Steve Presley, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Nestle USA. So Presley basically explained, he is a executive with over 25 years of experience in the food and beverage industry. Steve said that in the food industry, GMOs are a controversial debate. Some consumers believe that what's natural should stay natural, but other people believe that since science has revolutionized so many other industries, it should revolutionize food as well. This is a topical debate between many Western wealthy cultures.
And he would know because he is the CEO of Nestle, so he has all this information. He's the most important person there.
And his, if you go back, a quote that he said was, "The primary question we will need to ask globally is how will we feed the world with less efficient farms and an ever-increasing global population?" And the answer to that question is GMOs. And our final interviewee was Michael Taylor, who is a sales and marketing advisor at Stamil Growers and also a grower of pears, apples, cherries, and other stone fruits. And Taylor said that although GMOs have shown no harm to the environment, what is natural should stay natural, and his company is proud to not sell GMOs.
In our future experiment, we will compare the growth of GMO corn to non-GMO corn. We will do this by comparing growth rate, resistance to the elements, and corn yield. Our hypothesis says that if we plant GMO corn and non-GMO corn in the same location and give them the same resources, the GMO corn will yield more corn, be more resistant to the elements, and grow faster as compared to the non-GMO corn. This will also prove that GMOs are the future of agricultural development.
And that's it for our presentation. Thank you for watching, and I think we've concluded that GMOs are very important and they're really going to help with our earth and conserving our earth. Do you agree?
Especially because our population is drastically increasing, and to keep up with something as serious as that and to prevent that Malthusian catastrophe, we really need to keep up with our population growth, and the way to do that really is through GMOs.
And there's nothing to say that GMOs are harmful. There's no information to say that. So, I mean, why wouldn't you try GMOs? Why wouldn't you?
Many people believe that what's natural should stay natural, but we need to be able to sustain our population that's ever growing, and I think that GMOs are the only way to keep this.
GMOs are revolutionary.